Hey everyone, putting together a quick tutorial on how to wire up a couple of outlets that you're going to plan on putting in your basement. Simple tools, neutral and a hot wire, solid copper, outlet cover, hardware, 2 outlets. I'm going to show you how to wire these together so that you only need your hot and neutral coming into one outlet and the rest will piggyback off the other. Full disclosure, I am not an electrician. I do not know all the codes or local codes wherever you are, so safety first. Make sure that you're following the right procedures for doing all that stuff. All right, first thing we're going to do is get our outlet tabs popped off because they're not going to fit inside of our cover here the way that they need to with these tabs on here. And to do that, I'm just going to take a pair of pliers here and just pop each one off, just like that. Alright, so we've got all our tabs off for each one of these, so now they will fit in here just fine. Make sure you take any of the screws out for a top plate like this because the screws will actually go through the plate itself. So you gotta make sure you take all the screws out from both ends of these things. So if your outlet has one of these screw keepers in here that holds it down, you're probably gonna have to pry that off because otherwise it's gonna get in the way of what you want to do. Alright, now we're going to put this into, we're going to put one of these in the case so that we can hold it in place while we're working on it, so we can get our right lengths for our wires from piggybacking both, and we'll just set the other one in there. It's going to make it much easier to screw this all in if we don't have both of them locked down. So the hardware comes with these nuts and bolts here. I'm just going to feed one through and put the nut on. Alright, so now we've got one of our pieces screwed down. Got the other piece in place. Make sure that you have these facing the same way. You don't want 2 different opposite facing outlets unless you do. Now we're just going to get a feel for how much wire we need to go from one terminal to the next terminal. So we're going to have one going from the white neutrals across to each other. Okay, and then we're going to need one going from the brass hot lines, one across the other. So we're just going to get a general gist of what that looks like and cut ourselves a piece of that. So 2 pieces. We'll strip both ends of these using this guy. Alright, so I've got my hooks in here, just using a pair of pliers, curl them over. And now we've got 2 hooks looking just like this. I'm going to feed them in one at a time. So I'm going to do the silver terminal. This is our neutral terminal, so this is why we're using our white wire. Take our loose one, make sure we find our other neutral terminal, put that in place. So now, when we bring this down, this will just kind of sit in place, and we have a nice, clean, not too much extra piggyback right there. We're going to do the same thing with the hot terminals as well. Alright, so I've hooked up my hot line and my neutral line, both to the respective terminals. And so now this gives us a clean piggyback, so that when we connect our wires from the wall outlet, they'll just be going to one of these, and that will carry over to the next one. So we're just going to use these final terminals for this outlet, and that will supply power to both, and we'll be done. Alright, so here we have hooked up our, well, we've turned off the power first of all, just so you know, so that both of the powers coming to this is off, so I'm free to touch this. So now, just showing you, here's our piggyback lines going from terminal to terminal. Just have the neutral coming in on this side, hot coming in on this side, and then feeding over to the next outlet. Then I just have to put the screws back in place, mount it up, and we're good to go.